Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Scotty Mays is still hanging out in the co-pilot seat, and Columbus comic Scott Bond stops in the studio to introduce us to how much more interesting and supportive his family is. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
Have you got anything without spam in it? Well, spam, egg, sausage and spam. There's not got much spam in it. I don't want any spam.
Why can't you have egg, bacon, spam and sausage?
That's got spam in it.
Not as much as spam, egg, sausage and spam.
Look, could I have egg, bacon, spam and sausage without the spam? What do you mean? I don't like spam.
Spam, 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 spam.
All right, we're back on the Recalled Spam Show, the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with my guest co-host, Scotty Mays, is on there. And we have a new guest. Olivia Burns went running out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I apologize, Olivia. We're not usually, we are. We're always,
all the time.
We're always this stupid. It's okay.
All the time.
Scott Bond.
Yes,
Scott
sir.
Bond
Scott Bond.
is in the show with us now.
Definitely not like Sean Connery.
That's for sure.
No.
So, what brings you by? Did you I asked you if you watched some of the if you listened, because you can't. Well, you can watch, but it's kind of boring. If you listened to some previous episodes and you said you had, and you still decided to come in.
Yeah, I still decided to come on.
Yeah.
Seemed like a good time.
Until you got here, and then you're like, oh.
Yep, and he's like, they're doing the lips without me. Looking forward to those exercises.
Yeah. Thought it'd get me ready for this show.
Yeah, there you go.
Good warm-up.
So you are a comedian?
I am, in Columbus, born and raised in
Columbus. Does that still count, Scotty? No.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. A lot of good comics in
Oh,
Columbus.
yeah.
Leslie
Happy birthday,
Battle,
Wonder Doug, by the way.
Yeah, Wonder Doug. There you go. Michael Moore, he was on the show last week. He's pretty much out of Columbus.
Dave Berkey.
Yeah. That's
Some good people up there, man. There's some good people up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're, Dayton's always.
Yeah, so this is Dayton. Anyway, this isn't about Columbus Bond.
So how you see, you're a very young man. You're like at least like 2/3 our age, 3/4, something like that. Yeah, three-quarter our age, because
I like to look at it like I'm 3/4 of the way there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
I already told you, you're halfway to
aspiring.
this. So see all this gray on Scotty. I couldn't help it.
You don't see that gray on Scotty when there's people around.
No. Well, you said you did all the manscaping.
I was talking about your beard on my face.
Oh, stop it. Anyway, how long have you been performing comedy?
I've been doing comedy for about a year and a half now.
Oh,
so
why?
I'm pretty young.
Yeah, you got it young. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. That's as opposed to us. What you're in what?
My going on 2.5 years.
Going on 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I just hit year number 4, so we both started when we were in our late 20s. Say,
I gotta say, starting at such a young age, I think is really good because it really helps you develop that thick skin.
Yeah.
Either that or suicidal tendencies.
Right.
Yeah.
Suicide
one or the
ideation.
other. It's
Yeah.
like far left wing or far right.
Right. Yeah. There's no in between. Yeah.
So, what brought about your entry into the comedy world?
Honestly, it was spontaneous. It was like me and my. I was literally hanging out at my mom's house with like a few of my siblings, my brother and my sister, and we were just like hanging out. And they said you should like actually take comedy seriously, and I was like, yeah, I think I will. And then like I did, but I didn't tell anyone about it. And then they were like, they saw me like post something about it, and they were like, why didn't you tell us like that you just started doing comedy all of a sudden? Like,
Oh,
actually
so
taking
you
it
didn't
seriously.
even tell them? You didn't?
Yeah, I just told them I was gonna take it seriously, and I thought they took that, like they would have taken that seriously, but
Right.
They didn't.
They didn't take your
Yeah.
taking it
Yeah.
seriously.
So it ended up being just like spontaneous, but yeah.
You all right over there, Scotty?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Just having a squirrel moment.
Okay.
I'm good.
Scotty's a little. He's a little hyped up. He basically he snorts Red Bull.
Red Bull, yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
choice.
Well,
I usually
actually,
go for that or
yeah,
Monster, or a 5-hour energy shot. You ever do
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Well, I think
I've
he
I've
takes
evolved.
those as a suppository.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does the.
actually shoot it intravenously.
Oh, okay,
so,
okay,
yeah,
okay. Yeah.
that's all I know.
Well, it's
Old habits die hard.
I thought we were past this, Scotty. I thought we were,
Well, if we're having moments of transparency, then I have to be honest that I had a relapse a few months ago
Oh man,
with some donuts.
donut. Oh, that's terrible.
Always gets
That's
me.
terrible. Were they good donuts?
Jelly filled.
Where were
Dude,
they?
were-
Where were they from?
Okay. One, they were chocolate mousse filled.
Oh, okay.
There's
Where
3
were they
points
from?
to this. 2, they were from Bill's Donuts. And 3, the way they fill their donuts, they go in one side and then they go in the other side. So when you get to the middle, there's still that gooey chocolate mousse filling.
Center.
It is amazeballs. Can I say amazeballs? Pretty sure I can. I just
pretty,
did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
you just did. I can hit this button right here, and we can
What, is it a
reverse
nuke
You
button?
won't even
Does it go
say it. No, this
Oh.
button over here where it just drops the last 10 seconds of the conversation.
Oh,
So it'll
like
just say amaze.
dementia.
And that's
Just
really
gone.
what we'll hear.
it's just
yeah.
gone.
Yeah, it never even happened. We got to
Yeah.
act like it didn't.
Exactly. Yeah, we can't reference
Can't
it
even
either.
talk about it, yeah.
It actually erases it from our memory.
Yeah, it's like the
it's
glasses
like, yeah,
from.
it's like the,
yeah.
the little thing they had on Men in Black.
It's like, yeah, Men in Black. Yeah.
You know, the other night at Steak and Shake, I ate 3 triple steak cheeseburgers.
Why do you do these things to yourself, Scotty?
That steak and
Is
shake.
it just something to
You
soak
should have
up
just got like
Red
the
Bull?
7x7. That's the way to go.
They have a 7x7.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Bond, you're just now telling me about this.
I used to work there. I
You said that wrong,
specialized in-
Scotty. It's why am I just hitting about this, Mr. Bond? And you got to
Got
pet
his
your
cat.
little.
Yeah. We better cut that out.
My
Last
suck
time
Pet your,
muscle.
pet your suck muscle exercise while you speak to Mr. Bond like that.
I would just rather pull Austin Powers references instead.
Okay.
Scotty don't.
Scotty.
Oh, you want me to do it right now?
No, I don't.
Okay, we're past. It's,
There were some messages left earlier for you, Mr.
What?
Bond. Yeah. Yeah, the ones I said weren't important earlier.
oh yeah.
Because they
So
are
now
later.
they're relevant.
Yes, now they're relevant, and I've lost them. No, a message from says, my son Scott Bond is there. Tell him he looks like an MMA fighter. LOL, true story.
Yeah.
Were you an MMA fighter?
I was. Yeah, I did cage fighting for a long time before like this. Like I.
Well,
that's-
now
like,
this
they're my
has
sub-
changed everything.
It has. So you were an MMA fighter, and then you
Amateur.
decided you
That's like-
really amateur.
I would like to. Say
Okay.
that's-
Well,
that's
then you
good to know.
decided.
Different.
So what you did is you decided you needed some toughening up. So you started performing stand-up comedy.
Yeah, it's way good way to toughen up before you.
Oh, yeah.
enter
I've
a
gotten
cage.
far
I think if
more,
anything,
yeah.
I did it backwards. Before I got into the cage, I should have done stand up. That way, I would have been tough and I would have had
Exactly.
comebacks.
Yeah.
You put people in a rear naked choke and tell them jokes at the same time.
Yeah, they wouldn't know what's coming
Yeah.
at them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd literally
They
die
would
laughing.
submit. Yeah. They would.
They
They would definitely tap
literally
out
die
at
laughing.
that point. I've
Well,
had
so
some
much for
audiences,
robbing you for your money later to buy meth.
Yeah.
I've had some audiences tap out halfway through my sets. You know, I'd have been good. Back in my day.
You don't make me no never mind.
Don't make me no never mind, Scotty. That's a reference to an earlier show. Scotty's been here several times. Scotty. Scotty.
Me?
Scotty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I come on
Yeah.
a couple times.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
Scotty
changing
doesn't
my
know.
name to Scott for this show. So
Oh, yeah?
we can.
The 3 S's.
Great Scott. No.
Greg Scotch.
So MMA fighting. Now you were an amateur. Did you win any, or did you?
I
Just,
won some. Yeah.
you won some. Good.
You
So
win some, you lose some. It's all good learning.
Is your mom listening to this show right now?
I don't know.
apparently she sent a message. So
Oh, is that who sent it?
yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm guessing it said you're their son. You're their son.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't need to look it up again. It's there.
Yes.
It's out in the open already. So somebody is listening that knows you.
Interesting. They know things about me.
Yes.
This has gotten very interesting.
Yes.
Indeed. Yes.
So, how did you get into, even more interesting than how did you get into comedy, how did you get into MMA fighting?
I've always wanted to do that.
It's fun. It's a good time. It's a good way to get rid of your thoughts. They just sort of go out the window after a few hits to the head. I got into it when I was doing wrestling. I think that's when I really got into it. Like in high school, I wrestled, but before that, just like trampoline, like wrestling. So a buddy of mine, he was really big in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So he basically taught me submissions and like how to actually submit somebody through like an arm bar and like a leg lock and all of this stuff. And it got really, really interesting to me. So then that's when I decided like maybe I'd like to pursue that. So then
because it's like chess essentially, isn't it?
It's like a mind game. Like you're trying to,
you have to take a face bashing in order to set up your move to submit them.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's what really was the thing that like drew my attention to it. It was like there were so many different aspects to mixed martial arts. Like there wasn't just one style that you had to indulge in. Like you could indulge in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai or mix the two, and then like being able to find your own style, because even though you might be doing like Muay Thai, for example, like that doesn't mean that's like that doesn't mean that it's going to make you a better fighter. What makes you a better fighter is yourself and like how you allow yourself to develop those techniques.
Be more diverse and such.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with your wrestling background, that probably really helped you with the transition into the jiu-jitsu aspect of it as well, huh?
I think it helped, but to an extent, it was like there was a lot of wrong moves that I was like learning from wrestling. Like, for example, in wrestling, like when you go for like a takedown,
the pile driver, like full Nelson.
You're basically like
you're
like basically getting yourself into a situation where you would you'd basically be getting set up to where someone's going to knee you in the face, because like you're going for a takedown, and if you're not like having your arms in, and then you go for a takedown, you're going to get kneed in the face probably. But I mean,
so
obviously,
it's very similar to
obviously amateur, you can't do that. But like,
it's very similar.
Very
to comedy.
similar to comedy.
Yeah, very similar.
You must have performed at the chapter.
I'd grab the mic from the person. Just
Hey, speaking of the chapter, can we give a shout out to Dale?
I've been wondering how Dale is doing. Does anybody have any information? Are you familiar with Dale Blomquist? He's one of our local comics. Runs a lot of great shows.
No,
he's not sure exactly where he sits right now.
Last I heard, they were able to get all the infection out. He still has. I think he's lost his leg up to his knee, I believe. He has his leg amputated. I know he had his foot amputated.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's recovering. So.
Wow. I had not heard anything since the night of the show. I hadn't been up to date on any of that. So. Wow.
Great. This isn't an MMA podcast or anything. Nobody cares. I love
Kyle running his mouth. Kyle Steele running his mouth on there.
People running. So there's martial arts studio runners, instructor people here now. So thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I was
trying
hijacking the
to
show with your MMA awesomeness.
Yeah, whoop him, Scott.
I was just trying to give you guys a wider audience, more diverse.
No matter what happens, I'm putting my money on Scott or Scotty. Yeah,
one of the
Scotts. Yes.
Scotty doesn't name.
Do you speak Italian? Just out of curiosity.
I speak a little bit of Italian.
Somebody just sent me an Italian message. They just
my brother is in Italy right now,
is
so
your
that might be him.
family listening to this, right? You realize you're the only three people, right?
Must be your brother then, because it says Ciao d'Italio to a fratello, whatever.
Buongiorno.
So there you go. Well, there you go. We've gone international.
I feel really less than right now. There's a lot of
add more diversity.
There's a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah, MMA, Italy. Cool. Yeah, you're just gonna sit there and work on your suck exercise.
Have a suck muscle exerciser, and I know how to street fight, and that's about it. It really doesn't carry much weight in an octagon.
I hear if you put those lip things in, though, that you guys were using earlier, and you go in a match, that's you ultimately, you're going to win. That's just confidence right there. It's a confidence builder.
Like going on stage with them, man. I'm doing that next time.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you do.
I think you get a laugh every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big red lips.
Thursday night, I'm hosting the show with those lips on.
But the way you got to play it off is very seriously, though. Like as if
Exactly,
you don't even recognize that you're wearing it. So in that way, like as everyone else is like, what is this? Then you don't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, that's another message. It's your brother in Italy, so yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you like him? I can ban him. I have a button right here.
There's a button for that. No,
There's an app for that.
we're close. Yeah, me and him are like literally only 2 years apart. Like we're basically like we've pretty much done like everything together.
That's
like,
cool. So your mom was like, why can't you
basically
be more like your brother, Scott? But you had to do comedy.
Yeah,
your brother's
what's
in
the
Italy
comedy?
right now.
Yeah.
Like, is he in a relationship? He's probably
No.
is.
He's
I bet he is now.
yeah.
going
Guess
to
what,
Italy,
Mom?
you'd have to be.
Yeah. So, what's it feel like to be the disappointment of the family? No. We ask the tough questions here.
I could probably relate. So just
Well,
be
yeah,
honest.
absolutely.
That was
But
my
we all
nickname
can.
when I was
Yeah,
born.
Yeah,
And actually, it was aw.
because we're all comics, so yeah, we can all relate. You know, it's what I talked about Sunday night about. Some parents are proud of their kids. I've never experienced that personally, but
Right.
I've heard
Yeah.
rumors.
Good things about
so,
that
yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, it's
Must be a good one.
I mean, I don't need that kind of external validation.
Yeah.
I don't hear that. Like, I can't remember the last time my dad said he was proud of me. Like, seriously. Like,
Right.
serious thing.
Yeah.
Like,
No, but seriously though, I don't remember the last time.
But seriously, it doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not going to cry about it
It's
or
not a big deal.
anything. So
yeah, I'm a grown man now. I can take it.
I'm a man, Dad.
I just want you to respect me.
Somebody said you have a face for radio too, so that's how
Oh.
I'm not saying it. The computer's
That's
telling
sort
me
of
these
like
things.
I don't know, like ironic, I guess, because there's no face to a radio.
Right.
It's
That's-
the
that's-
voice. It's not.
That's what the old joke
Okay,
is.
so-
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Scotty,
there's
you
the
got this?
20-year-old coming out in him.
Yeah. Well, radio hasn't really been a thing, so since anybody that's 20 years old probably never heard a radio.
But it's
way
a
it
radio.
Yeah, this is actually a radio station. You know that 1069.
Oh,
That's like you can put that on a dial.
What's this you
On-
say?
yeah, on this
you
old-
turn the
old
dial. You start to
machine.
turn the Johnny
It's
Carson
like
here.
a
He's
podcast that you can't control what you listen to.
Are you still
It's if your
considered a
podcast
disc
went out
jockey?
of control.
yeah, that's a good question.
Why? What of it?
Are you still considered that?
Well, I'm a DJ. Yeah, that's what they
So
call
you
it.
are a disc jockey.
I am. That's still the
Do you
terminology.
incorporate
yes.
discs, records into your
If I
format?
feel like it, I will.
That would be.
We
can we get
got
them
two turntables. I
and a
got two
microphone?
turntables and several microphones.
I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's where it's at. Those two right
Yeah.
there. That's where they are. I believe they're hooked up. We should actually run an experiment.
Let's put the
not
needle
all
on
of
the
them.
record.
Grab
Put the needle on the
grab a
record.
over there. Just
Put the
pick
needle on the
something out
record.
put
And the
something
drum
out
beat
over
goes like
there
this.
and- yeah. Because just something totally
Oh,
random,
no.
and that's what we will play for the part of the next break. Because I've never seen anybody use them before. What do we got?
You just grabbed one.
Yeah,
What is
well,
it?
That was
we
complete
probably
random.
shouldn't get one that has the parental advisory label on it.
Oh,
We got-
yeah. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
this is Sea Murder. Is
for-
the name of
Oh wait, C
Yeah,
murder.
Sea Murder.
Yeah, not.
but it explicit,
not sea murder.
parental
Yeah.
advisory. I don't know if it's for
well, there's a
language
radio
or-
version.
Oh, there is a radio version?
Number
I didn't
one is
see
the
that.
radio version.
I didn't look far enough. I just saw the warning, and the warning did what it was supposed to do.
Exactly.
It warned me.
It warned
that-
you
So you guys
that-
are going to have to talk while I get this set up,
All right.
because, this is old school technology here.
So let's identify some core issues in your life as you were growing up as a child. Was there any?
Well, it all started when I was about 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it a bad juice box experience?
it was. Yes, like it just exploded in my face. And,
Ooh.
yeah,
An
like
exploding juice box.
yeah, and it was like it ruined what life meant to me at that time. Because
Did
like
you have pudding pops back in your day?
I think so.
Bill Cosby pudding pops. The guy
Pudding
that plugged
pops.
the. Yeah. It's not gonna work.
Alas, there are no
Okay.
needles.
Well,
Wow.
So-
oh, there are no
Yeah.
needles for
They
the
took 'em out.
record.
Yeah, well, they knew you were coming. So they said, get the needles out of here.
Oh my god.
That was wrong, wasn't
dude,
it? That
no,
was
because
just
if those
wrong.
were diamond cut needles, I would pawn those.
Yes, no needles on the turntables, so we got nothing. We cannot. It's so fake. It's so phony. Where's Patrick at?
Patrick.
Patrick, get in here. Where are the needles for the turntables? I'm just kidding. You're all right, Patrick. Go back to work. But it is time to take a break. Oh, well, here he goes. I just got a message from our engineer. The needles were stolen several months ago. So somebody had the same idea that you had, Scotty.
Next episode of the live will be from Richie's pawn shop.
When was the last time you were here, Scotty?
Yeah. Hey.
Start doing the math here.
Hey. I don't know how to do math.
Yeah, oh, that's funny. Well, now we know. Now the mystery's solved. Why are we getting somebody sending bad jokes over here?
Because we can use that?
Somebody on this, well, no, not about the turntable. I've gotten 2 messages. One of them I'm not going to say because it's racist and wrong. The other one is asking me if I want to hook up after this. Or maybe they're asking you. I don't know.
Or maybe they're asking the other Scott.
They could be. Somebody, somebody.
Maybe they're asking.
Scott B or Scott M or DS.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have to take a break though, so we're not taking any more callers right now. Sorry. Yep. What's up, Patrick? This is Patrick, our engineer.
Hello.
What's that? Yeah.
We'll take care of them when you go to break.
Oh no, I'm good, man. I don't care.
Are we on break now?
No, we're not on break now. So just keep your profanity at
darn
bay.
It.
Dang gone.
Patrick, don't leave. Shane, come back. Come back, Shane.
He's got it. See ya, Patrick. He's got to catch a bus, man. All right. Well, we're gonna here. This will be good to play since we since we had our suck muscle exercisers in earlier. We're going to go ahead and play a little choke hazard.
There you go. Counterbalance.
So here's some choke hazard. You talk a good game. We'll be back here shortly on The Life.
I've been thinking of killing you. Tell myself coming unglued. I bit my tongue and it bled. Blurry eyes from all the meds. Doctor says I should get on some more. Just because my self-image is poor. So now I'm walking to your door. Serenade you lying there on the floor. Love you more. Tell the floor. Love you more. You talk a good game, but it's all lots of naked. You talk a good game. Your voice is up every lot you can. You talk a good game.
Nothing brings people together quite like the movies, and every week Aaron Lopez wants you to join him in a discussion about the latest and greatest in the world of film. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and get comfy. Come join Aaron and friends every Thursday at The Drive-In, presented by Eventide Entertainment.
Lane, I've been going to this high school for 7.5 years. I'm no dummy.
All right. We are back on the Life Radio Show. That's a little more Charles DeMar from Better Off Dead. You ever seen that?
Indeed.
Great 80s movie. You ever seen that, Scott?
Yeah, I was born in the 80s, I think. Yeah.
So
it doesn't mean you can't watch the movies.
Oh, yeah, I watch a lot of movies.
Oh,
you got to check out, tell your mom to rent you all the Porky's series. And you guys sit down as a family and watch those.
6 Feet Below Hell is still available at Redbox. It's been there for over a year now.
Is that any Redbox or select Redbox?
Well, they move around.
The red boxes?
Well, no,
Yeah,
they're
I
stationary.
thought those were stationary.
They're stationary, but you can get a movie out of one and put it back in another.
Sure, and put in another one.
Yeah, because you have to.
I took all of them and put them into one red box. And that
all of them?
Yeah.
So there's going to be one town where everybody's seen that movie.
Why do we only have this movie?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
This isn't the traveling pants.
Yeah. Why is there this big bearded guy chasing people with a sledgehammer? I don't get it.
His name Reggie?
Reggie. That's Reggie. You watched it, didn't you? No, you didn't.
No, I just know your character.
Watch the movie,
I can
Scotty.
identify with Reggie.
Yeah, I bet. You should watch the movie. You'll enjoy Reggie and his antics. Your family's from West Virginia. You'll enjoy him.
Yeah, don't make me no never mind.
Don't make me no never mind. All right. Well, we should probably get to some news stories because that's really why we're here, is to inform the listening public of the many, many, many things that we are here to inform the listening public of.
Yes. Of the knowledge in which we hold.
Get all that?
Dearly.
All right.
Got the news with Gary Gnu.
Yeah, the GNUs. No GNUs.
No GNUs
is good news. A New York man claims the actions of a chatty CVS employee turned out to be unhealthy for his marriage. Michael Feinberg is suing the drugstore chain for unspecified damages, claiming he suffered, quote, genuine severe mental injury and emotional harm after he took a prescription for Viagra to a Long Island CVS to be filled. There's more. That's not all. There's more. There's more. According to a lawsuit obtained by the New York Post, Feinberg told a store employee identified in court papers as Arula that he would pay for the medicine himself, a big investment considering a single pill can cost $60. A few days after that was in the article. I don't know what they cost. Scotty, don't look at me like that. A few days after the prescription was filled, Feinberg said, his wife called the CVS to discuss another prescription, only to have the on-duty pharmacist bring up the Viagra. Feinberg said the employee, quote, without solicitation, improperly informed Feinberg's wife that his prescription for Viagra was not being covered by insurance, a violation of HIPAA privacy rules. I think he was hiding that Viagra from his wife.
Was he cheeking his meds?
Yes, he was cheeking. Yeah. No, because they weren't for her.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why he's suing. Yeah, that's because why else?
You think he disappeared for the whole 4 hours?
Yeah.
4 to 6 hours. I'll be back in 4 to 6 hours, Dad.
Yes. Yeah, I think there's something fishy going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He should just stick with his suck muscle exercise.
He really should.
Instead.
Go have a stiff drink somewhere.
Yeah. Yes. So that's a terrible thing. Terrible thing. And but is there more to discuss about this? I mean, I actually wrote a play called Little Blue Pills, which was about a similar situation. Yeah. So nothing from nobody.
No comment.
Just check my chat and see what's going on here. See if anybody else has anything to say. Okay, your cousin in Andover, Connecticut is listening. We're just
what?
all
Did your
over,
mom call the whole family?
Apparently so.
My little boy's on the radio.
He's famous.
I told you it's just a big family.
And here we are talking about. Here we are talking about Viagra.
Yeah.
It's a good topic to talk about. Family topic.
What's more yours, like Adderall? What's your?
Well, I'm 20, Scotty, so I don't have to use it yet. But,
so Adderall it is. Do you have any Adderall stories?
Notice he said he didn't have to use it yet.
Yes, it doesn't mean.
Yeah, it's not a necessity.
Doesn't mean I'm not doing my research to prepare for days ahead.
And Scotty, when I looked at this next news story, I thought, why are we going to be discussing these again? Because we, hashtag bag of peacocks brought this up once before. Feral peacocks in Canada are either having an existential crisis en masse, or they really can't deal with their reflections. Residents of Surrey in British Columbia are having issues with the feathered creatures roaming their neighborhoods. In addition to being loud, the animals keep attacking expensive cars in the area. Local Ryan Cragg told CTV, quote, with the dark-colored cars, they can see the reflection fairly clearly, and so they make the mistake that it's another peacock and have at it. Have at it. That could mean a couple different things that they're doing to that car. They'll get the front panel, the side panel, the rear panel, and then work around to the other side. Those are some thorough feral peacocks. They take their time when they're having at another peacock, apparently. The issue has been going on for months, with one resident going to extremes and chopping down a tree that held a peafowl nest. The resident subsequently received a $1,000 fine. So you can't chop their nest down, you can't kill them, all they're going to do is beat up your Beamer.
Do they have reflections? You think they sit around and go...
They're not pea vampires, they're peacocks.
I was thinking more like sitting in a group and reflecting on the day's events. Like see Harold over there.
Yeah.
Really peacocking.
Yeah. Look at it. Look at his plumage. Beautiful plumage. Yeah,
if I had two Viagra, you know what I'd do to him?
Yep, I'd work on the front panel, the side panel, go around to the rear panel. I'd really have at it. Because that's what peacocks do. They don't miss a panel. That's the old saying.
What's a peacock nest look like? Is it colorful?
It's a peafowl nest.
Oh.
The cocks don't nest, only the fowl. That's pretty foul.
It's a foul joke.
I don't know. I'd imagine they would have to be fairly large. I don't know why. Just they got a lot of feathers.
They have a lot of feathers in
yeah.
Shaking their tail feathers. They got
probably be large and
feather.
colorful and fan out. That's how their nest would be.
So do you think it'd be round, or would it be like
a wedge?
Yeah, would it be shaped like a wedge nest?
Yeah, it would. That would make perfect sense.
Yeah. Or maybe like when they enter, then they put up their tail, and then that's like a
what do you mean, like hanging up on they have a hook?
People are like, why don't you just Google it? I'm not going to Google it. I know that I could easily. I know.
There's no fun
exactly.
Googling.
I hate it when people say that.
Use your imagination, people.
Exactly.
What's wrong with
Nobody
you?
has a piqued curiosity anymore. Instead, they go straight to the internet.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about this? Let me Google what I think.
Yeah, Google peacock and see what happens when you pull up images.
It's just a bunch of people that are just Google drones, like they're just going around.
That's society, though.
Right.
Society, they are internet drones.
Because they're not actually saying anything intelligent of their own thought. It's like they're just saying what Google told them to say about the topic.
Right, because if it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
Yeah, complaining about internet drones and you're on Facebook Live.
Like I say, why even go on Google to define something? If you're trying to define a word and you don't know what it means, like just come up with a definition.
Yeah, make it up.
Yeah,
right off the top of your head.
Yeah,
improvise it.
So I'm just going to start lying to everybody.
Yeah,
but if you look at them seriously enough, it'll be believable.
Right,
because you believed it.
Right,
because you
thought
it
into existence.
Yes.
Yeah. If you speak it, it must be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if Google says it, it's got to be true.
If more than one person is Googling, is that giggling?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is it a gag of Googles?
It's a gaggle of Googlers.
Googlers.
That's the name of this episode, a gaggle of Googlers.
Like I said a word yesterday, and I didn't think it was a word, and I think this really relates to like speaking things into existence.
Have you ever played Words with Friends? You'd be amazed at what are words that you wouldn't even know are words.
Yeah.
I've learned so much.
I used to play Balderdash, which was similar.
Balderdash?
That was like physically like touching like game pieces though, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't want to be physically touched, Scotty.
I loved.
It's not
Sorry.
Twister.
Your version of Twister, my version of Twister are two different things. Hence,
that's what you think.
This is a really sticky suck muscle exerciser.
How do you think it got that way?
I don't know.
Use your imagination. You're going to Google how your suck muscle
This thing is going to be stickier than a wacky wall walker when I get done with it.
Just smacking on the wall. Now, as a young child born in the 80s, young man, not child anymore, you're 20. Are you familiar with a wacky wall walker?
No.
No.
Yeah.
See, that was basically.
You're going to have to Google that.
Yeah, Google.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to use my imagination here. Wacky.
Yep. Imagine what a wacky wall walker would be.
Wacky wall walker. See, what I would think a wacky wall walker would be is something that not only can whack and walk, but it can walk on walls.
And whack.
And whack.
While walking.
Whack while walking on the walls. Yeah.
Kind of like Giovanni and his hidden octopi escapade.
Yes, his hide and seek with the octopus. Yes.
Yeah. This makes sense.
Yeah, that's.
Is there like something
close,
you smack on the wall?
You can. You certainly can smack it on the wall.
And see what
I
sticks.
say is there's a white stain on the wall behind you.
There's been a few wacky wall walkers in here.
Yeah. It's happened here a couple times, I'm guessing.
It's basically a little ball that has little tentacles like an octopus, and you get it slightly wet. It's a rubber thing. You get it slightly wet, and you throw it on the wall, and it just slowly crawls down because it's sticking to the wall.
I think I know.
Doesn't work too well on a plastic wall.
I have an idea of what it is. Like I feel like I've seen one, but I'm not like
possibly.
No.
It's
they used to give them away in cereal boxes.
And Wendy's Happy Meals used to have them as well.
I don't think they were supposed to, though. I think that was actually the burger. Because I did that with my Wendy's burger, too. It's like, and it stuck to the wall and just took
Wendy's
a long
had the
time
jam hats
sliding
and the
down.
sunglasses. Remember, like painter caps were a big deal in the 80s, too. Remember that?
What's that?
Painter caps.
Were they?
Yeah.
I don't. I
remember my dad would take me to the hardware store and you get a bag of popcorn and get a free Ace Hardware like painter's cap, and it felt like paper. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Oh yeah.
You wear these?
Why not?
That's always the weird thing that always weirded me out. Like when you go into like a store, like where you're gonna like buy some wood or something, or like just something to build something in your house. Like maybe your sink like broke.
Yeah.
And you go in there, and then like what they have right next to the register is just a bunch of like things that have nothing to do with hardware. It's just like
right,
like you got
like do you need a suck muscle
right?
exercise?
It's like, you know what, that might come in handy with this project I'm working on in my house. Like,
See, I shop at Home Depot a lot for work, and I found out they have nothing that has to do with any of the stuff I need.
right.
Several times a day I go there, and it's like, why am I here again? Because I know what I'm looking for, and they don't have it.
Hey, why aren't we plugging your show more for Thursday?
There's a show this Thursday?
There is. It's your show.
That's right. The Life Radio Show presents with Can Do You a Carpenter, featuring Scotty Mays.
Well, yeah, that's not all about me, but
along with Ed John and Mike Wells
Ed
and Ransom
John.
Carr.
That guy, he's like one of the most racist dudes I've ever met in my life.
Oh, yeah. Has he ever talked to you about Black Panther?
Oh, my God. Like, he just sat in Starbucks in Philly the other day and just judged everybody.
Yeah.
And told us about it.
Ed, what is wrong with you? Is Ed on there right now?
Not yet, no.
He
I
should
don't know.
be.
Nick Taylor's telling me how much he loves me right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you cleaned it up for the radio.
Yeah.
He saw you with your suck muscle exercises.
Yeah.
Didn't he? It's like, he wants to get on some Scotty. Yep, you've been practicing is what. We're so off the air. Okay, off the rails. More news. But hey, yeah, the Life Radio Show this Thursday at Wiley's Comedy Club. The Life Radio Show presents Can Do You a Carpenter featuring Scotty Mays, hosted by me.
Right. You got another news story, too, don't you?
I got plenty. I come prepared, man. I mean, not mentally, but I have stuff written down. That counts as
That's
prepared,
a 7:30 show, not an 8 p.m. show?
That is a 7:30 show.
Because I've been misinforming some people.
Yes.
Does the flyer say 8 p.m. or does it say 7:30?
Flyer should say 7:30.
Okay, I hope so.
Because I made
double
the flyer.
check.
Yeah.
All right. You did make the flyer.
I did. I made it. I put everybody on there that's going to be on the show.
You sure did.
And the time and
you
where.
Sure did.
But what I didn't put on there is if you're listening to the Life Radio Show right now, if you go to get your ticket for the Life Radio Show presents on Thursday, and it asks you for a discount code, put in Life 1069, and you will get your ticket for half price.
And if you're dyslexic, good luck.
Yeah.
Another message. Every time I see you look at that screen, it's like, it's Scott Bond's family.
Scott Bond. Yeah. The Bonds.
What's it like to be the trophy child of the family? Jeez.
Yeah, well, they are proud. You have a show coming up tomorrow at a Funny Bone. Is it the Columbus Funny Bone?
Yeah, Columbus Funny Bone.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's not cool.
It's something.
Yeah, it's something.
So it's Funny Bone, but still.
I would say, well, I mean, like, it's like the showcase, so it's like, like, obviously I'm not 21, so I can't do like the 21 and up shows. But
right.
Yeah.
But still, it's a showcase, so you're up there. Yeah. It's not an open mic where they're just like, let any old schmuck up there. You're actually on a showcase, which means somebody saw you and thought this young man's funny. Let's put him on this showcase show.
Sure.
So that's a good thing. That is a big deal.
Is that the one that Dan Swarthout is running?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Haven't met him.
He's a good guy, man. Yeah, you should try and get him up.
Got to Google him.
Google him. I'll just imagine. Just imagine who he is.
Imagine him into existence, and then you show up there, and then he's just like this like figure
like
that
you're
you
nothing
imagine.
like I imagined you.
I'm pretty sure I butchered your last name, Dan. I apologize.
Okay, we'll do some more news if we want to do some news. Do you have more shows coming up to plug? Might as well plug away since we're here.
Yeah, man.
And all the people listening in Dayton will drive all the way out to Columbus.
That's
yeah,
a good question.
Because if you don't, I will.
I do plan on going to Wiley's,
Mom,
actually.
We're number one if we're near like a sports
not
team
sure
or
when I'm going to Wiley's.
Sunday Comics?
Yeah. It's coming up, but I don't know exactly when. I just know, the 15th of July. That's like...
Okay.
Okay.
That's right around the fireworks
you're going to
time.
be that's a couple weeks after, Like the fireworks shows are on...
We come in and we, like, just let everyone know, like, fireworks are over.
Yeah, it's like no bang here. Just we're back.
They steal the bang and then we just come in after.
Have you done the Sunday Comics at Wiley's before?
I haven't. That's gonna be my first time.
Oh, it's a great show.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Stick to your time. Don't ignore the light. Karen will love you.
Yeah,
sweet.
If you ignore the light,
I'll
just keep going. She will cut you off.
Oh, okay.
And all the comics in the back of the room.
You will be chastised.
Somebody just sent the message July 5th.
July 5th.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Is that when you?
Thanks, Mom.
Is that when you're going to be at Wiley's?
No,
I got little Scoochie Doo on my little planner here.
That would be July 5th would be the fireworks competition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like you're competing, sir.
Yeah, you didn't even know it.
Yeah. You are going down. I'm not taking it lightly on you. I am not taking it easy.
Yeah, he's still going after Carl, who won last year.
Scotty, don't.
Yeah. Yep, Scotty's actually planning on flying to China, picking up Carl, dragging him back here just so he can beat him in the fireworks competition. That's how dedicated Scotty Mays is to his comedy fighting.
Well, it's a good thing I learned about that button you got over there. I can just erase like the last 10 seconds of his acting.
So you'll never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The whole audience would be lost.
It's a shame it only erases 10 seconds because, I'm thinking 2 hours would be probably set us even.
Hey, man, I needed this 2 hours, so
that's good. That's
very grateful for you, sir.
Well, I appreciate your appreciation.
Yeah, I'm a deeply appreciative person.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Hey.
All right.
I'm glad to be in the existence and the presence of this appreciation happening.
Hey, there is much appreciation.
Yeah.
We just greatly appreciate everything.
All right. Yeah. Well, we're going to appreciate this next news
let's
story.
Let's appreciate the hell out of that news.
Speaking of wacky wall walkers, Southwest Airlines says it is, quote, deeply disturbed by allegations from a female passenger who claims a male passenger masturbated next to her on the flight. Ellie Shariat, who runs a PR agency, was flying from Las Vegas to Philadelphia on Tuesday when she says one of her seatmates exposed himself as a passenger from hell. That didn't. Yeah, see, they thought that's where they were going.
6 feet under, huh?
Her tweets about the situation subsequently went viral. A statement from Southwest said, "We are deeply disturbed by the behavior described by Ms. Shariat, and we have contacted her to address her concerns and offer apologies. Our internal reports indicate that the crew did not witness this incident during the flight because they weren't all just standing around.
Right,
what are you doing over there?
Yeah. You like a bag of peanuts?"
Our crew then apologized to Ms. Shariat and assured her that they were not previously aware of the situation. This type of behavior on a flight would not be tolerated by any of our employees.
So Stroker Ace was born to race.
Our CEO, yes, but not any of our employees. Because that's who that was. No, but no, it's, on a flight, that would be... I mean, I get mad when somebody takes up the armrest, you know.
Somebody said at Southwest, what do you expect? They don't offer in-flight movies.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you read more into the story, he had his laptop out watching porn. So he brought his own in-flight movie.
There you go, Chris
that's
Abels.
that takes some premeditation, because not only did he...
Oh, his motives were
they were very...
He's like,
he knew
I
exactly
know what I'm doing.
He's like, he planned that flight, like, probably had nowhere, like, in plan to go anywhere. He just wanted to be able to get on a plane.
He was like, Alexa, porn up.
Yep, that's... But yeah, that would have been premeditated, because you have to shut all your devices off for takeoff. You're not allowed to use it to get on the... You wouldn't be able... It's not like they have Wi-Fi in there.
Right.
So he would have had to bring it with him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, will your family adopt me?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're big in adoption.
They're big into it? They have a bunch of children in their basement.
There's going to be like a bunch of people just listening. They're like, oh, this family adopts people. They're getting like all these
Somebody says
messages.
you need to sing your next hit song, Scott.
Oh, my next country hit song, yeah.
Oh, wait, it's country? We're going to
never
save
mind.
that,
Yeah,
sir.
It's a persona.
Yeah, we
It's a
can't
persona
have
as a country
music here
person.
on the... as a country?
It's
What
a
country?
persona as a country. Not as country people, as a country itself. I'm blowing this out of proportion.
Yeah, kind of like Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe.
Yeah, and then you become that country.
Yeah.
And then you Google what that
I don't think you just can become a country that's already spoken for itself.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably.
You can
Although everybody says America.
America.
So, we try and claim it like it's ours, but it's not even ours. We stole this.
Yeah, exactly. We stole
I
the whole
didn't steal
country.
nothing. Look, I had nothing
And
to
the
do
name.
with anything
that.
that happened way back when the Fiddler on the Roof was popular. Had nothing to do with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we are America now, even though this whole half of the world is America. North America, South America, Central America.
Central, yeah.
We're like, nope, we're just up here in the north. We're taking it all.
This is our America.
That's why we just say America, because it's just to reference one big America.
See, 50 years from now, that's just what it's going to be called.
Yeah,
It's no
America.
longer United States or USA. It's just going to be America.
It's going
Not even
It's
America.
going to be the NWO.
Yeah.
It's going to be New World Oral. It's going to be
New World Oral.
That's actually
New World Oral.
unbelievable. Because I think the
And
whole
everyone
New
has to wear
World Order
those
thing,
those lip things.
Everybody's going to be, this is what our society's coming to.
Yeah.
This
There
is going
you
to be
go.
America
There you go. Yep,
with the suck
America.
muscle exerciser.
It always goes back.
And to buy time on America's soil,
Yeah.
you have to
Viagra and suck muscle
Exercise
exercises.
the suck muscle.
That is America's future
exercise
right there.
my right to suck muscle.
Yep. I exercise my right to have my Viagra private, or I will sue. Yeah, that's America.
There you go, corporate America.
Yeah. Yep. And the Canadians just have their geese, and apparently now they're peacocks.
Yeah.
Yep. Hashtag bag of peacocks.
Hashtag
Canadians
bag
have
of-
eaten a bag of
It is-
peacocks.
the Canadians
They
said
wish
you
they
can
could,
have
yeah.
our geese, and we said you can have our peacocks.
Yep, there you go. There you go. That's typical.
Where did the
America.
peakeeks originate from?
The peakeeks?
I'm just making words up. That's believable, though, right? Because I'm looking at you all serious and
Yeah,
such.
define it with your imagination.
A bag of peakeeks, a flock of peakeeks.
Yeah, it's
Flack.
like a geese but a goose.
It's a
Flack
fleek.
peakeeks.
It's a fleek of peakeeks.
That's like a plate of pancakes. I'm confused now, Scotty. I don't really know what you
pancakes.
want. You have to talk to me.
I might go to Bill's Donuts after this. Wearing these.
All right,
These
we're
lips.
gonna have to
we're done, aren't we?
We're gonna have to
All
wrap
right.
up a gaggle of googlers. We're gonna have to wrap this episode up, and as much as I hate to, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
But it's been a good show. Scott Bond,
Mr.
thanks for
Bond.
coming on.
It's been fun.
Mr.
Good to
Mays,
be here.
always a pleasure to have you on. Look for Scott Bond, July 15th at Wiley's for the Wiley Sunday Comics. Tomorrow, he's going to be at the Columbus Funny Bone in a showcase. Not like locked in a case up in the front,
Yeah,
but he will be
they only do that
on
to
stage.
the more prestige.
Right.
comedians.
Well,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
you got to keep him from getting away.
Yeah, you don't want them to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
It's
the
like the old
that's how
school freak
showcases
shows.
get broken.
Yeah,
too,
the old school freak shows. They put the,
Exactly.
Here's a bearded lady. Wait, that's a real bearded lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's Columbus. We have those.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, why not?
I mean, they don't shave armpits up there, so why wouldn't they have bearded ladies?
Is it Columbus or France?
Yeah, it's
Italy.
Columbus, France.
Or Italy. Yeah, there you go.
Hi, Brennan.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. In Scott's family. Scott, thanks for coming
Thanks,
on,
Mom.
And don't forget Thursday, 7:30, Wiley's Comedy Club, the Life Radio Show presents Kanduyua Carpenter. Very funny. Used to be Kenny Carpenter. Then he got all
Chocolate
Kanduyua.
Charlie.
Yeah,
Does all
Chocolate Charlie.
kinds of
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
personas.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. Check out his Facebook page and all the craziness he's got on there. Scotty Mays is going to be featuring that show with his craziness too. I'll bring my craziness, and hopefully Ed John will be back from he will be back from the Philadelphia Starbucks. I don't know why he goes all the way to that one.
And Mike Wells and his craziness.
Mike Wells, and I just stuck my yeah, I don't even know why I did that.
Oh, it's
But
going
Mike
to be
Wells,
weird.
We'll see you Thursday. And Ransom
be
Carr is
weird.
going to...
It's like foreshadowing. What are you gonna do to him?
I'm going to bring my suck muscle exercise.
You're gonna attack him from the left, then the right, and make your way down to the rear.
Yeah, go start at the front panel, the side panel, all the way to the rear panel. We're gonna go at it. All right. Thanks for tuning into The Life. This has been way too much fun. We'll see you guys next week. No, we won't. We'll see you Thursday at Wiley's.
That's
And
right.
after that, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM with a repeat broadcast on Wednesdays from noon to 2, or you can always stream the show live at wwsu1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email thelife1069@gmail.com.
Brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me. I am a brutal presence. I will impose my will.
They were able to get all the infection out.